So the sector for this morning is technological transformation, and we have 3 tracks per sector. If you're not familiar, cities, network states, and civilization design, Web3, AI, and tech for good. But one that we had originally in social change, social transformation, it's indigenous and local solutions. And I think, there's this idea that indigeneity, indigenous wisdom is like, something ephemeral, something that like a woo-woo kind of side of things. And I think we have to really reframe that. One of the big takeaways from learning from Forrest was that that even just this weekend talked about explicitly, like collective decision-making is so important. Indigenous practices have been solving for that for thousands of years. How do we make wise choices together? The most public or common example is the thinking 7 generations ahead, right? And so it was important that we make sure, I invite us to reframe this idea that indigeneity or indigenous wisdom is like a spiritual but I think we have to honor it as a technology and a tool, not a tool, but an approach that is actually practical and needed and necessary. And so we're going to jump into our first speaker in that space, who's not actually indigenous to the land she's done so much work in the last decade. Dr. Cornelia will have you come down. We just ran Transformative Impact Summit Africa and Zanzibar, and Dr. Cornelia spoke there. And the work she does is so, I'm not even getting into the work she does as a healer and as a doctor, but she has a school with, is it 700 girls? 2,700 children. So she's built schools in Tanzania with 207,000 children. She's 700 reporters, staff, 300 staff, done great good at scale in that place. And now the work she's doing that she'll speak about for me is maybe the most important form of education there can be, to teach people how to sustain themselves, to actually just take care of themselves, for me is one of the most important things we can offer. And so it's an honor to have her here. She flew all the way from Tanzania. Thank you so much.
I would like to bring you for a very short moment into our land, into the journey where I'm currently. And I would like, if you allow me, that we all close our eyes. And we just imagine around us the beautiful white savanna. In front, the Kilimanjaro, there's still a little bit of snow on it. And a Maasai woman coming to say thank you, because you are wearing a necklace, a bracelet that she has been making, and you wear it, which is respect and this honor you give her by doing this. And I want you to feel these roots far down into the earth, into the African earth, where we all came from. How much strength there's coming from it. And then I want you to listen to this very silent, small voice coming out of the land and saying, please, help me. I need help. And this is where I started the journey to start listening. When I came to this land 15 years ago, I saw that it was a desert in many places, and the children were telling me that there's not enough food for them to grow. Mama Zara, a traditional healer, she's very scared because her wisdom is not taken over by the children anymore. Who will remember our treasures, is she asking me. And people are working on land and they don't know how to grow without fertilizers. And this woman, she gets seeds sometimes, but she does not know how to grow it without chemicals. And chemicals are expensive, so there's nothing left over to feed her family. And yes, I've been working in Tanzania as a doctor for 15 years now, and I realize that more and more chronic diseases are coming up. The body gets poison, there's a lot of pesticides around. How can we regain our strengths? School medicine does not have an answer for it. I listened to the call and I realized there are real challenges, not only geopolitical with dependency, climate change, food insecurity. The food itself, through conventional agriculture, is making the soil sick and the people. And indigenous agricultural practices are slowly disappearing, especially the seeds. We need resilient, we need self-sufficient food systems, and we need to start listening to the ancestors and to the people of the land again. I have learned so much through them, and we need to bring this message out. We heard yesterday with Lara Stem that education, we talked about it, education is the most important tool we can give to people. And we were thinking of training 50 facilitators per year to lead into regenerative agriculture and indigenous health practices, to learn about what ancestors have been doing in the land. We want to have a hands-on learning, to really engage with nature again, but we also want to use mobile education tools. They are very necessary because we want to scale the information. Our focus should be on soil and on medicinal plants. But also, what is very important are didactic skills. We need to learn how to tell the stories, how to convey the message to the people that are still owning the land. Actually, we don't want to call the people facilitators, teachers, experts. That's not what we need. We need readers. These are those people that are listened by the communities. People that know how to read the signs of nature, that understand the solutions that nature, the soil is giving us. We need to learn to listen. We need to help to generate readers again. And these readers, they don't need classrooms. They don't need buildings, tables. They need the soil. They need nature to get the knowledge from there. That's why we want a mobile education. Tanzania's climate is so diverse. We need to go to the soils where we can learn the different messages. We need to allow the readers to go to the different climate zones. And we need them to go out to engage with indigenous people again, to sit with them under the tree, to listen to them. So to be able to make solutions that contain both our knowledge of regenerative agriculture, but also the knowledge of the people of the land. Mobile classrooms for an education on the go. So to expand accessibility. To sit with the villagers directly and find solutions, build the curriculum with them. And also be in this land and hands-on learn, on-site, to observe, to experiment, to actively practice the regenerative agricultural techniques. But also using technology to be able to learn in remote areas. We need to develop a curriculum that integrates healthy soil, cover crops, agroforestry, There's so many treasures in medicinal plants. I have experienced so many people that have been healed with medicinal plants in our clinic. And the hands-on learning in able to make good decision makings. We need to listen and we need to learn from the tribes, and we need to, in our curriculum, to give these tools in hands. How can we learn from traditional people? How can we convey the message through stories, through images, so that they can take the message? And we need open source curricula for the teachers. This is how we can create impact. An impact because we enable, with these facilitators, with these readers, a very rapid transition into regenerative agriculture. We can create jobs, but it also helps carbon sequestration, climate resilience through improved soil health. But very important is the aspect of health. We want to get healthy again. Our children in these schools, they need nutritious food and not just starch. They need medicinal plant for preventive care. And we want to impact the communities by talking to them, by valuing them, by finding solutions together. And we want to extend our impact through technology. Develop apps to enhance analytical skills in pest management, in crop selection, to assess the soil quality. We want to build a digital platform where people can interact easily and have a reward system. So whenever they interact and whenever they share their experiences, they get rewarded. And we want, with the help of technology, to monitor the impact of our regenerative practices, so to be able to learn what we have been doing. Is it working? Is it not working? For this, we need data. We need remote sensing. And then I was asking myself, why us? Why the hell Africa Amini Alama? It's a small organization. There are big organizations. Why us? And I could not find an answer for myself. So I asked the earth, why me? Why us? We have enough projects. And the answer was, why not you? So I was standing here, then I came to the States. It was quite short term after I got this answer. And then I said, yeah, why not us? We have 15 years of experience in working together, medicinal and indigenous practices. We have bought land, and since years we are now growing in regenerative farming, good nutritious food for our people. We have 7 primary, 4 secondary schools. So we have some experience in education, and we have a deep, deep root in the community. The community trusts us, and trust is so important, as you said. So we got this vision. We don't have it. We got it. From farmers to readers. And these readers to be leaders in a very rapid, because we have no time to lose, in a rapid transition to regenerative agriculture and health. And now I ask you, why not you? We cannot do it alone. We need the expertise of people like you in technology. We need funds. It's actually not so much, but we need funds just to start, because once you start, more people will engage. I want you just to ask yourself, how important for you is a healthy soil, healthy people, healthy life, actually a healthy world? Africa is the place we all came from, and this soil has still a very important quality. There have been studies made how important the original soil from our earth is for our health. The frequency of this original soil, it's still there, it's not lost. But if I listen to the earth, we have no time to lose, please.
Before you go, so we often ask, what do you need? Just we're very clear about what you need. And one of the easiest ways for folks who aren't in Africa, who aren't in Tanzania, to help is through funding support. You said not much. It's I'd love to better understand, like, what's the scope you're looking at? Like, what would move the needle?
In order to be able to start, we need $150,000 to set up the structure, and then $2,500 for every reader that we built in the year. And so that's it. And then we start, and then we continue and see how many funds we get. And we have a foundation here in the States, 501c3 deductible. We have foundations in Europe. It's pretty easy.
So 150 people giving $1,000 would make it.
Imagine a big difference.
Okay, and how would the best way to get in touch is just by email?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.